Have you ever wondered why sweet snacks and fast food are so hard to resist? They give us pleasure in seconds, but leave hidden costs for our body and mind. This video will take you on a journey behind the taste, showing the truth about sugar, processed food, and how they shape our energy, emotions, and future. Stay with us because what you discover today may change the way you eat tomorrow. Every day, food shapes our lives more than we notice. A quick breakfast, a snack between meetings, or a late-night treat often feels like a small detail, but behind these small choices hides a bigger story about health, energy, and how we truly feel. In our modern world, food is not only about hunger, it is about comfort, speed, and habit. Fresh fruits and vegetables still exist in markets, but shelves are also full of shiny packages, cookies, chips, candies, frozen meals, fizzy drinks. These foods are easy to find, ready to eat, and carefully designed to taste irresistible. Sweet, salty, crunchy, soft, every flavor is made to keep us coming back for more. One of the strongest forces in this story is sugar. Sweetness feels natural to us. Even babies react positively to it. That is why sugar is added to so many products, not only desserts, but also bread, sauces, and even foods that look healthy at first glance. It works like a hidden guest at the table, present more often than we realize. Why do we reach for these foods again and again? The answer is simple but powerful. They make life feel easier. After a long day, opening a bag of chips takes no effort. Drinking soda feels refreshing, and biting into a cookie brings a quick smile. These tastes create short bursts of pleasure and energy, which can feel like small rewards in a busy life. But pleasure is not the full story. The same sweetness that excites the tongue can confuse the body. Sugar delivers energy faster than most other foods, giving a quick lift. Yet this lift is short-lived. Soon after, energy drops sharply. This is what many call a sugar crash: sudden tiredness, loss of focus, or even irritability. And when the crash comes, the body craves more sugar, repeating the cycle. Processed foods work in a similar way. They are designed for taste and convenience, often containing sugar, salt, and unhealthy fats in amounts higher than the body needs. At first, they feel like solutions: quick meals, quick snacks, quick happiness. But over time, they can create problems that grow silently. Imagine the difference between an apple and a packaged apple pie. One is natural, full of fiber and vitamins. The other is mixed with sugar, butter, flour, and preservatives. The pie may taste wonderful, but it does not bring the same balance or benefits as the fruit itself. This simple comparison shows how food can change from fuel into a burden, depending on how it is made. Understanding this hidden power of taste is the first step toward awareness. It teaches us that food is not just about filling the stomach, it is about choosing between what feels good now and what keeps us strong later. Many of us eat without thinking, repeating habits that fit our busy schedules. But the truth is clear: every bite carries more meaning than we think. This realization can feel uncomfortable, but it also brings freedom. Once we know the difference between natural and processed, between fuel and illusion, we can start to make better choices. Choices that not only satisfy the tongue, but also protect the body, the mind, and even the future we want to build. When we think about sugar or processed food, the first picture that comes to mind is pleasure. A soft cake, a cold soda, a crunchy snack. These are moments that feel harmless, even joyful. But every choice has two sides. While one side brings comfort, The other side carries consequences that are often invisible at first. In the short term, sugar and processed food affect the body in very clear ways. As soon as we eat them, the blood sugar level rises quickly. This sudden rise gives a rush of energy, which feels good at first. People describe it as feeling awake, happy, or even excited. But the body does not like such sharp changes. To balance it, the body produces insulin, a hormone that lowers blood sugar. This drop can happen fast, leaving us tired, unfocused, or even moody. This cycle of high and crash may not sound serious, but it can repeat many times in a single day. Breakfast with sweet cereal, mid-morning soda, lunch with white bread, and afternoon snack. Each one pushes the body into another rise and fall. Over time, this constant roller coaster can weaken focus, reduce productivity, and even change the way we feel emotionally. What looks like laziness or stress may simply be the effect of too much sugar in the diet. Processed foods add another layer to this story. They are often high in salt, unhealthy fats, and artificial ingredients. These elements make food last longer on shelves and taste stronger in the mouth, but they do not nourish the body the way natural foods do. In the short term, they can cause bloating, dehydration, and difficulty sleeping. They can also create cravings that feel hard to control. The more often we eat them, the more normal they feel, until real food, like fruits or vegetables, seems less attractive. The long-term effects are even more serious. Too much sugar over years can lead to weight gain, insulin resistance, and eventually diabetes. It can also increase the risk of heart disease and liver problems. Some studies suggest that sugar even affects the brain, linking heavy sugar use to memory loss and reduced mental sharpness. Processed food carries its own long-term risks. Diets high in unhealthy fats and salt can raise blood pressure and damage the heart. Preservatives and artificial flavors may not harm immediately, but they can slowly weaken the body's natural systems when consumed every day. What begins as a habit of choosing fast, tasty options can silently grow into health conditions that are hard to reverse. Beyond physical health, there is also an emotional price. Many people notice that sugar changes mood. At first, it brings happiness. Later, it can bring sadness, stress, or even guilt. This emotional cycle creates a heavy weight that is not only physical, but also mental. In a busy life, these feelings can make daily challenges even harder to handle. Still, it is important to understand this truth without fear. The purpose is not to say that one piece of cake or one bag of chips will destroy health. The real issue is repetition. A single sweet treat is not dangerous, but daily dependence is. What harms the body is not one moment, but the pattern created by many moments added together. By looking at both short-term and long-term effects, we see the bigger picture. Food choices are not just about taste, but about balance and future well-being. The body is strong, but it also remembers. Every bite becomes part of that memory, shaping how we feel today and how we will live tomorrow. This understanding gives us power. If sugar and processed foods can slowly damage our health, then natural and balanced foods can slowly rebuild it. Every healthy choice, even small, becomes a step toward energy, clarity, and a longer, stronger life. The price of sweetness is high, but the reward of balance is even higher. If sugar and processed foods bring so many problems, why do we keep choosing them? Why does it feel easier to grab a soda than to drink water, or to order fast food instead of cooking at home? The answer is not weakness or lack of discipline. The truth is more complex. It is a mix of biology, habits, and the world around us. First, there is the science of the brain. Sweetness activates the reward system inside the brain. This system releases chemicals like dopamine, which create feelings of pleasure and satisfaction. The same system is activated by other enjoyable experiences, such as listening to music or receiving praise. But sugar is powerful because it works quickly and strongly. The brain learns to connect sugar with comfort, and this makes us want it again and again. In many ways, sugar works like a form of addiction, one that is accepted and available everywhere. Next, there is the power of habit. Food is not just about taste, it is about routine. A person may eat a cookie every day at 3 p.m., not because they are hungry, but because the body and mind expect it. Over time, these small routines become part of daily life. Breaking them feels uncomfortable, even unnatural. Just like waking up without morning coffee feels strange, trying to avoid sugar can feel like something is missing. Then comes the influence of advertising and marketing. Companies spend billions to make processed foods look exciting, fun, and even healthy. Bright colors, catchy slogans, smiling faces on TV screens. All of these are designed to connect emotions with products. Children see cartoons linked to cereals. Adults see athletes drinking energy drinks. These images make food look less like a choice and more like a lifestyle. Without noticing, we start to believe that happiness comes in a package or a bottle. Society also plays a big role. Celebrations often include sweet treats, birthdays with cakes, holidays with candies, family gatherings with rich meals. Refusing these foods can feel like refusing love or tradition. At the office, free snacks or sugary coffee may be part of daily culture. In schools, vending machines filled with sweets are often easier to find than fresh fruit. In such an environment, choosing differently feels like swimming against the current. Stress adds another layer. Modern life is busy and demanding. People often feel tired, pressured, or anxious. In such moments, sugar and processed food promise quick comfort. A chocolate bar can seem like a reward for surviving a long day. Fast food feels like a solution when there's no time to cook. These choices are not only about taste, they're about survival in a fast-moving world. Another reason is the illusion of small harm. Because the effects of sugar and processed foods are not immediate, it is easy to believe that a little more will not hurt. One cookie, one soda, one fast meal, it feels safe. But this thinking ignores the power of accumulation. Just as small drops of water can fill a glass, small daily choices can fill a lifetime with health problems. All of these factors, biology, habit, marketing, culture, stress, and illusion, combine to make sugar and processed foods extremely hard to give up. They're everywhere, accepted by everyone, and linked to pleasure and belonging. That is why telling people to simply eat better often does not work. The challenge is not only about food, it's about emotions, identity, and environment. Understanding this reality is important because it brings compassion. Instead of blaming ourselves or others for unhealthy choices, we can see the larger forces at play. And once we see them, we can start to design better ways to resist them. Awareness does not remove the difficulty, but it gives us the first tool, clarity. Letting go may feel hard, but it is not impossible. Step by step, habit by habit, people can learn to replace illusions with truth. But before change can begin, we must first accept why the problem feels so powerful. Only then can we find the strength to face it. The story of sugar and processed food does not have to end in defeat. Yes, they are powerful. Yes, they are everywhere. But humans have something even stronger, the ability to choose, to change, and to build new habits that bring health instead of harm. The road may not be easy, but it is possible, and every step is worth it. The first step is awareness. Once we understand how sugar and processed food affect the body and mind, we see them differently. A soda is no longer just a refreshing drink. It is a chemical rush followed by a crash. A bag of chips is no longer just fun crunch. It is extra salt and fat the body does not need. Awareness transforms food from a habit into a decision. And when every choice is conscious, we start to gain control. The second step is balance, not perfection. Completely cutting out sugar overnight is not realistic for most people. Change works better in small, steady moves. Replacing soda with water a few times a week, choosing fruit instead of candy, cooking a simple meal instead of ordering fast food, these little changes add up. Over weeks and months, they build a foundation of healthier habits. The goal is not punishment, but progress. Another important step is learning to enjoy natural flavors again. At first, fruits and vegetables may taste less exciting compared to sweet or salty processed foods, but the human tongue can adapt. After reducing sugar, an apple begins to taste sweeter. Fresh food starts to feel more satisfying. Cooking at home also helps reconnect with the real taste of ingredients. When the body experiences true nourishment, cravings for artificial flavors slowly lose their power. Support from the environment is also key. It is easier to make healthy choices when the kitchen is stocked with whole foods instead of snacks. It is easier to resist sugar when friends and family share the same goals. Even small actions like preparing meals ahead or carrying a bottle of water can remove temptation before it even appears. Change is not only about willpower, it is about designing a life that makes good choices the natural ones. The benefits of this path are worth the effort. Energy becomes more stable. The mind feels clearer. Sleep improves. The body grows lighter and stronger. But beyond the physical, there is also emotional freedom. No more cycle of craving and guilt. No more dependence on a sweet fix to get through the day. Instead, there is confidence, the feeling of being in control of life rather than controlled by habits. This freedom brings hope for the future. Imagine aging with strength instead of weakness, facing daily challenges with energy instead of exhaustion, enjoying food without fear. Every healthy choice today becomes a gift for tomorrow. And the best part is that change is not about losing something, it is about gaining more. More energy, more health, more life. Still, it is important to be patient. Breaking old habits takes time. Some days will be successful, others will not. But progress is never about perfection, it is about direction. As long as the direction is toward balance and health, every step matters. In the end, sugar and processed foods may always be part of the world. They may remain on shelves, in advertisements, and in celebrations, but we do not have to be prisoners to them. By choosing awareness, balance, and natural strength, we can write a different story for ourselves, one of freedom, vitality, and hope. The journey may begin with a single choice, but its impact lasts a lifetime. Food is more than fuel. It is the foundation of how we live, how we feel, and how we dream. And when we choose wisely, we give ourselves the greatest gift, a future that is not stolen by sweetness, but built on strength. We'll again to discuss the quality of life and the power of choices in the context of food.